Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're here with some King Arthur Legends Rise. Big shout out to them for sponsoring this one. If you want to check the game out, there will be a link down below for you to do so. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite rares in the game, and I think it's a pretty good time since a Frozen Plains event just popped up, and that is Accolon. I did a pretty in-depth guide on him recently, and I want to talk about him here with you guys because I think it can be kind of easy to sleep on rares. And if you're trying to progress in Frozen Plains, this is your guy. Like this is the guy that's going to allow you to do that. It's a tough dungeon to navigate, and as far as a reliable heal block, it's not going to get much better than this guy for a while for you. Okay, so let's talk about his skills and his relic and his gear, and then we'll go in and take a look at him in action. Okay. Now, for his first skill, immediately before attacking, if allies excluding this hero have a debuff, transfer all debuffs to himself. When the transfer is triggered, gain paralysis powder for 1 turn. When the transfer is triggered, gain faint for 1 turn. So, paralysis powder, when attacking, transfer all debuffs to the target. So what that means is it's got a long cooldown. Now, if you can skill him up, if you get him all the way skilled up, which I'm going to probably do very soon, the cooldown drops to 2 turns, which means every 2 turns skilled up, he will pull all debuffs from the team to himself and then put them on whoever he hits. That is nutty. That is a nutty skill, and it's not even the main reason we're talking about him today, but that's crazy, all right? Here, when attacking, 100% chance to inflict recovery decrease 3 for 2 turns. When attacking targets inflicted with defense decrease, 80% chance to inflict recovery disruption for 2 turns. It cannot be resisted. That's very handy. 100% chance to inflict damage taken increase 1 for 2 turns. So he's doing a lot of important stuff for specifically for Frozen Plains, right? He's helping you do more damage. He's blocking the heals. Because the problem with that dungeon is that every few turns the bear will hibernate, and then after 2 turns the bear will wake up and heal almost all of its health back. The amount of times I've had a fight where the bear has 1 to 2% HP left, goes to sleep, wakes up, and is back at like 96% health is infuriating. So you have to have a heal block to put up during that time. And someone like Morgan has one in her kit somewhere. Is it on? Maybe it's. I think it's on her relic. Actually, the A3. Yeah, she's got it, but she's got it for 1 turn, and it's a 3 vigor cost. So the problem is, you have to land it. If it's only a 1 turn recovery disruption, you have to land it on the 2nd turn that the bear's asleep, and that's rarely going to work out that way for you. And what you'll run into a lot with Morgan is she'll land it the first time and then not the 2nd time, or she won't have the vigor to do it. It's just it's really a flip of the coin when it's only 1 turn. So the really nice thing about Accolon is that on his A2, so only a 2 vigor cost, he's got it for 2 turns. So all he's got to do is basically hit the bear once while it's hibernating, and you're almost guaranteed to land it. If he gets 2 turns, you're pretty much guaranteed to land it. Every now and then you might end up in a situation where he doesn't, but I would say 98% of the time he's going to get this heal block up for you, and if you fail the dungeon, it won't be because of that. It'll be because of another reason, okay? So the heal blocks that he throws up are very, very good. On the A1, we've got effect accuracy increase for 2 turns, which on himself, which could be very helpful for the A2. And then on the A3, we've got a 2-hitter with a pretty good multiplier with a chance to inflict a sleep. Doesn't really apply to the boss, but that's a really good multiplier. So not only are you getting good utility out of him, but you're getting pretty solid damage multipliers, right? If we look at someone like RK, for example, who is our biggest hitter, 188% on the A2, 120% AoE on the A3. Now, he's not going to put out the same damage as K, but the point is that the multipliers are like somewhat comparable. So not to mention, once you get him skilled up, this goes to a 2-turn sleep. So it's 75% chance to land a 2-turn sleep, which is a long time to be asleep in this game. And then if you skill him up here, you get up to a much more reliable. And 70% is already pretty reliable, but you get it even more reliable with skill ups. So just the answer to the problem that is Frozen Plains for players trying to progress in there. And I still don't have a stage 10 team. It is a tough dungeon. I'm on stage 8 right now. So as far as his gear is concerned, I would recommend trying to get an accuracy set on him. You don't want him missing it from his skill, because the one that's going to be happening more often and reliably is the A2. You're probably going to be able to have him A2 every turn, which is what I would recommend in the setup. So an accuracy set's not a bad idea. And then I just kind of mix and matched some other stuff because I didn't have, I didn't want to bother putting a full set of something on him and sacrificing stats. So I worried more about his stats, but you could go with a damage set. You could go with a vigor set, which is never a bad idea. There's a couple of other options, but ultimately you really just want to get his accuracy up and then focus on getting his damage up. So like here we've got some attack speed, we've got some crit rate in the subs. Here we've got some effect accuracy, which is very important for us, along with some other damage stats and some speed. We've got attack percentage on the necklace, good attack speed rolls, crit damage here, which isn't ideal, I think, for the build that I have him in anyway, but like, again, it's working out fine. And then attack percentage on the ring. You could go crit rate if you wanted to on the earrings. But I would recommend the damage stats. I think the extra damage is pretty nice and handy. If you are struggling to keep him alive, if your healer can't keep him alive, then, you know, of course you could switch him over to something a little bit tankier. But I would recommend trying to get effect accuracy on the belt. And then here, not super important in my opinion what you put there. So just get his effect accuracy up. To give you an idea of where we're at with him, we have him at 70%. And I mean, I just really don't ever see him get resisted. That seems to be more than enough for him to do what he needs to do. So, all that being said, let's go ahead and just take a quick look at a run in the Frozen Plains so you can see in action what I'm talking about with the heal block. And that'll be that. All right, so like I said, I'm on stage 8. That's as far as we've been able to get so far. Stage 9 is a little bit of a doozy, so we're going to go repeat battle so that we can use our prioritize attacking bosses, because we're not going to bother with his legs. I believe the minions are legs in this one. And then for skill priority, we're going to have Kay. If you're using the same team I'm using, Kay is going to prioritize her A2, followed by her A1. Morgan, we're just going to have her A1. The reason is I'm not super concerned with the moments that we can turn meter knockback, and I'm not going to have her use her A3. 3 Vigor is not worth her using her A3, especially since Akalon is here with the very reliable heal block on the A2. So Morgan's here with the A1 just to put up the defense down and damage taken increase. She's just here to make it easier for us to do damage. That's literally all she's here for. Akalon prioritizing the A2 followed by the A1. And Bedivere prioritizing the A2 followed by the A1. You see, we weirdly have no healers, right? In the lower stages, when I wasn't using Bedivere, Clementine was in his spot, and we could get away with just having Kay and Akalon being the ones doing damage. In the higher stages, though, if the fight goes on too long, the bear starts getting a lot stronger. It gets harder to sustain. So we have Bedivere in here doing his A2 and A1. So this is not 100% team, but it's like a 95% team. They don't fail often. Every now and then they'll fail, but the good thing in this game is that if you fail a dungeon, it doesn't matter. You don't lose any energy or anything. So it's worth it to me to work around the fails for the successes that come with the rewards that come with the successes rather. So hopefully this will be one of the ones that we win. Because like I said, they do win most of them. So right now, and there you go. Akalon just put up the heal block for 2 turns. So now we're good. Now we can exhale. The bear is not going to wake up and get a bunch of heals. And we're going to be fine. So basically all we've got to do now is survive to the next hibernation when we can do some more damage to it. And we win. That's really the kicker. So he's probably going to kill Morgan. But hopefully at least 2 of our damage dealers can make it to the next hibernation so that we can get that kill. And that's generally the way that these runs work. Now, keep an eye on these debuffs. I don't know where we're at on the cooldown, but watch these debuffs. See that? Accolon took all of those effect accuracy down debuffs, pulled him to himself, and then sent him to the boss. Crazy. Actually crazy. And when we get him skilled up, he'll do it every 2 turns, which is just going to be ridiculous. So now we pretty much win, I would say. I don't think he's going to come back from this. And that's what a run looks like in Frozen Plains. So that's Frozen Plains 8. Again, I'm still working on a 10 team. Reckon we need to just scale up our damage and stuff, and perhaps our... I don't really know. We're working on it, but I think this is a good time for this since we have the event going right now. So yeah, get Accolon built, and you will progress in that dungeon. It's just inevitable. He is the most reliable heal block that you have easy access to right now, and he doesn't really require a lot of special. You don't have to get him to Chivalry 8 or anything special like that. You just have to have him and have decent enough gear on him for him to do his job. So that's it. I hope that this helps you make some progress in Frozen Plains if you've been struggling in there. Big shout out again to King Arthur for sponsoring this one. If you want to check it out, there's a link down below. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you next time.